trading has become your new 9 to 5. Let me explain further. So most people try to become profitable at trading to eventually make that their full-time career. However, if you switch from your regular job to trading and it's just as stressful and it leaves you feeling anxious, frustrated, and dissatisfied most days of the week, then how is trading any better for your life long term? Ask yourself this. Most of the days you don't get a win or you don't get a setup. Most of the days trading leaves you feeling dissatisfied, anxious, and frustrated. And how is that good for you long term? Because the truth is, you may think that these mental symptoms don't have anything to do with trading, that they're just there. It's just a part of life. But once you actually try to take a break from trading and look at how your mental state is those times, that week, that 2 weeks, compared to a normal day in trading, normal week in trading, you will spot the difference immediately. Because you can't suppress your emotions. You can do it temporarily, but they will rise to the surface. That's the part of trading. Trading in itself is a really good income. Me personally, I'm funded with 5 funded accounts at this point, and I'm doing 2 verifications, which means I passed phase 1 and made 10%, and now I only need to make 5% on those 2 accounts to get funded on those as well. Then I will have 7 funded accounts, and I've been fortunate to get some payouts as well. But the reality is this: I made 10% last week and I was satisfied for a while, for a few days, and then that satisfaction fades away. Then I get the same feeling that you get, that everyone else gets, when you start to ask all these questions. When will my next setup come? And then you may take a trade and it hits stop loss and you lose 1%, and you get frustrated. The thing is, I want my followers to become really successful traders, but I also want to be honest with you, and I don't want to sell you a false dream. If trading is your only income, even if you make it work, which I actually believe most of you guys are able to do if you really want to, and if you take this stuff seriously, even if you make it work, why do you want to only have trading as your only income source? Because the thing is, trading in itself can give you financial success, but that won't fulfill you in the long term, in the long run. Because you have to look at trading this way. Trading in itself doesn't give you, it's not creating something tangible, some tangible value, a product, a service. You're not providing value for others. You're just in it for basically your own financial gain, and that's it. That's why you feel this empty feeling every single day. And the losses always feel way stronger than the winners. I made 10%, but when I lost 1%, that was a stronger feeling than the 10% win, even though net positive 9%. And that's because you don't use you may use some creativity, obviously, but it's not the same as creating a product or a service. That's why if you're into trading, you should focus on other stuff as well. You should try to develop yourself in other areas as well, because starting a business is actually easier than trading. Because in trading, you still have to follow rules. It's not so different from your regular 9 to 5 job, because in trading you also have to follow a lot of rules. You have to have risk management, you have to follow your trading plan, and you have to basically, it's a system that you follow, which again, that's probably not what most people thought trading would be when they first started out, because you don't know any better, but the deeper you go into the rabbit hole, you realize that trading in itself is just following a strict system and a rule set as well. And it's not always fun. It's not supposed to be fun. You're here to make money, but it's not that different most of the days. Most people, like, they get frustrated from trading. Like, you have to answer to the market is your boss, and you can't argue with the market, and that's the truth. So it's not so different. And even though trading doesn't take up that much time, trading live, trading still lives rent free in your head the rest of the day. If you took a loss, then it still has the power to live rent free in your head if that's your biggest income source. That's why you have to ask yourself, you have to think long term, and you have to think, if I can become a successful trader, then why can't I start a business as well? Because think about the mindset a trader has and the mindset uh, some kind of business person, not the biggest ones, but some medium business owner has. Most of those business owners are more delusional and ego driven than traders. Traders are oftentimes more humble because they've been humbled so much in the market, and you have to do all this self analysis, and you have to actually realize your faults. And if you have too large of an ego and you get too excited, you will quickly realize that the market will humble you. But in business, that's not the same. In business, you can actually have a really large ego, and you can be delusional, and it will still sometimes work. That's the difference. So if you're able to work so much with yourself to become a profitable trader, you can easily become a profitable business owner. And that's what I want for my followers, because if you are on your way to become a profitable trader, then obviously you're still in this game because you believe that's possible for you. But as they say, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And if being a profitable trader doesn't scare you anymore, then that's not big enough. You have to raise the bar and think of something that scares you and that you may initially think that, I could never do that. That's what you need to aim for as well. Because it takes some of the pressure out of trading. You don't always have to perform. Like, you obviously have to perform, but you don't always have to produce insane results because you focus on other stuff as well. And long term, do you really want to have trading as your main income source for the rest of your life, even if you make it? Think about all the stress, all the frustration. Like, some of the best traders, biggest traders in the world, like, you start to slowly lose yourself. And you have to ask yourself, even if trading is something you can do for the rest of your life, is it actually something you want to do for the rest of your life? Me personally, I know trading gurus who, they're able to trade, they're profitable, but since they have other businesses as well, they they don't want to trade. They could trade, they can make money, but they just don't see the point because it's so much stress, so much frustration, and they make enough anyways. So a lot of people use trading to build up their capital, but once they make a certain amount and scale into other businesses and investments, they don't want to trade even though they're able to, while you're sitting here and thinking that trading is the best thing in the world, is going to change your life, while other people who are wildly profitable don't even want to trade anymore because they don't see the point. So think about why you're in the market, what your long-term goals are, and don't just get so excited because someone dangles like some money in front of you in the markets. Like, there's no point in getting that excited. Just stay calm and think long term. However, I still want everyone to succeed in trading, and I'm also taking trading really seriously. And if you're interested in my strategy, how I view the markets, my daily analysis, and being mentored by me, just click the link in the bio to join my Discord, and I'm going to do everything in my power to help as many people as possible. I'm taking my students really seriously, and I'm available for your questions to help you out, and I really want you guys to succeed.